An increasing number of scientists are advocating for new renewable forms of energy to reduce carbon emissions. Hydrogen is one of the most prevalent resources. We connect with Hirosha Uchida, Vice President at International Association for Hydrogen Energy, to hear more about it. Welcome, Dr. Uchida.
Thank you very much.
We remember that Japan was rattled by a powerful earthquake in 2011 that resulted in the worst nuclear power plant accident. And since then, Japan saw an overhaul in its energy policy. So why is Japan so focused on developing renewable energy, in particular hydrogen?
Yes, this is a nice question. As you pointed out, the big earthquake 2011, and we experienced a big tsunami and simultaneously big disaster, nuclear disaster. Yes, that was awful. This is really terrible. But before this experience, in the 60s, 70s, we experienced a very, very heavy pollutions in Japan, as you know well. We experienced a very rapid economic growth, but simultaneously we experienced very, very heavy pollutions. And for example, Kawasaki, where we are now working, this area experienced very, very heavy pollution, but we overcame now. And we are very keen for clean energy or environment since that time. Yes, this is the main reason. And Japanese government will establish a hydrogen society in Japan. This is really initiative of Mr. Prime Minister Abe. Yes, this is also reason. And because I have been long involved in hydrogen energy research and development, but the very new phase now is the industry in Japan. They are very active to make hydrogen as business, right? This is very important to realize a hydrogen energy society.
So, Doctor, do you think hydrogen can be a good alternative for thermal generation?
You cannot so compare. We need different types of energy. It depends on area, local area. Thermal power energy is also important. Many people complain, for example, coal thermal power because of CO2 emission. But CO2 emission is no problem if you have plenty of hydrogen. You can combine hydrogen and CO2. You can produce methane or new organic compounds like medicine and materials. And this is quite new trend in Japan. And I should say, in some local area, they need thermal power. In some local area, maybe solar energy or wind energy, and hydrogen can help these energy storage and also energy output control or fluctuation control. This is also a very important role of hydrogen, not only for fuel cell. Yeah.
Ambassador, the issue of renewable energy is growing. The interest is growing very much, but it's actually very expensive. It's not affordable for many countries, I hear. But how is it going with the renewables?
Yeah, so our way to the low carbon society is inevitable and irreversible, and renewable energy is the key to get there in a faster way. And if you look at the investment on the renewable energy, we can easily figure out that more and more investment has been made to the renewable energies. So for instance, in 2015, the amount of the investment on the renewable energy is $329 billion US. And last year, in 2017, it amounts to $280 billion US. That amount exceeds the fossil fuels investment for consecutive 6 years. So nowadays, the finance, the money flows into the renewable energy. That means that the world and most industries will invest in the renewable energy and develop the technology development in relation to the renewable energy.
In Europe, for instance, I know that they use wind, or they prefer hydropower rather than solar, for instance. So what is the situation in South Korea? And I also want to know about the global percentage of renewables in terms of electricity generation.
the portion of the renewable energy in the world amounts to 30% of the total energy portfolio, and 70%, among them, the 70% will be the hydro, the power, I think. And so the portion of renewable energy among the energy, the portfolio will they continuously increase. So I expect Korea should follow up and catch that the global trend. And Korea, the new government has the plan to improve the portion of renewable energy up to 20% by 2030. So to achieve that goal, so we try to almost efforts for that.
Finally, the international community definitely links, as we mentioned earlier, this economic factor into this climate change. So why is the economy, why is it something that we cannot avoid when talking about climate change?
Yes, it is often said to reduce the greenhouse gases costs a lot and it takes a long time. But the newly adopted IPCC special report on 1.5 degrees Celsius clearly indicates that the reduction of greenhouse gases can lead to the sustainable development. The previous IPCC report has focused on the fact that the climate change has been caused by human activities. So human beings can solve the climate change. That's the hopeful message. And this special report has provided us with another, the hopeful message with the linkage between the greenhouse gas reduction and the sustainable development. So in the short time, the reduction of the greenhouse gases can lead to the cost and the time, but in the long run, it will be beneficial for mankind as well as for the one planet.
I understand. Thank you very much for your insights today.
Thank you so much.